Well, g'day guys and welcome back. So this trip we're going to be doing something a little bit different. So I've come out to the coast here and I've got my canoe and a small backpack with some essential items. I've got my fishing gear and a hand spear. Now the plan for this weekend is to do a little survival challenge. So I've got no food and no water. It's about 7 o'clock in the morning now and the plan is to start here till about lunchtime tomorrow. So a little bit longer than 24 hours. And yeah, very keen to give it a crack and see how we go. Like I said, I've never done anything like this before. But I wanted to do one for such a long time, so oh man, a fly just flew straight into my throat, so that's a good start to the weekend. Oh, I think it's still in there, eh? Anyway, let's jump in the canoe and we'll go get out there. Oh man. Well, it's a bit of an overcast day today. The wind's starting to pick up as well, which isn't ideal when you're out in a canoe. So what I'm going to do is head around to the back of this lake and see if we're going to have any luck with the fishing. And then after that, we'll probably go find a place to set up camp. And then maybe try and find some fresh water and also start foraging along the coastline. So first things first is let's see if we can catch ourselves a nice little fish for lunch. And this bloody reel, it keeps sticking every sort of half rotation. I took it apart and yeah, there's all like sand and grit and stuff inside there. I tried to clean it out as best as I could, but yeah, bloody hell. The last thing I need is to make life harder for myself today. Oh, this is a joke. This is an absolute joke. Oh, I don't know how long I can last doing this. I might have to go to the coast pretty soon and see what I can find around there, because this rod is an absolute nightmare to use. Just paddling down this little creek at the back of the lake. It's really nice, eh? So many birds out. The water's a lot higher than it usually is, and it's real dirty as well. We've had a lot of rain, so I don't think that's had any effect on the fishing, because I have caught fish up here before. Not a single bite yet. This bloody reel. This is what I get for putting the reel in the sand when I was sort of first starting out and didn't know any better. Definitely paying for it today. What I think I might do is I might call it quits for fishing for now. I've been fishing for about 2 hours and haven't had a single bite yet. Changed up the lures a few times and nothing seems to be working, and then just this reel is just so painful. So I think might call it quits for here. And we'll go back towards the coastline and find a spot to set up camp, and then do a bit of foraging and fishing around the coast, because I think I've much better luck around there. Oh, yes. Yes. Come on. Oh, it's gonna need to stick here. Alright, we'll fish on. But he's gonna need to stick this fallen tree. Where is he? I don't want to break the line. Oh, there he goes, there he is. Oh, nice brim. Really nice. Oh, beautiful. Oh, yes. Ew! Oh, that is a cracker. Oh, he is. Oh, I'm so stoked. Thank you, mate. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Oh, what a beautiful What a beautiful fish. Oh, have a look at that. Beautiful black brim. Oh, really nice size. What a cracker. That is going to be my dinner or lunch. Oh, I am so thankful for this. Honestly, I cannot be more thankful. Thanks, buddy. All right, now let's dispatch him. Let's measure him up. He's definitely over legal length. I know that. That's for sure. So black brim need to be 25 centimeters, and this guy is about 36 centimeters. So well over legal length, and yeah, honestly, could not be more stoked. I'm so thankful for this guy's life, eh? He's definitely going to sustain me for today, so really stoked. So on that note, how about we hightail back to the coastline, and we'll set up camp. Well, I'm so incredibly stoked on that catch, eh? Like fishing for 2 hours there, not a single bite, and that bloody reel was giving me hell. I thought I was going to go back empty-handed, but yeah, to catch that really nice brim, I'm so incredibly thankful for it. When you're out here and you've got no food and you're just living sort of off the land like that, everything, whether it's bush tucker, whether it's a fish, every little bit is just so important. You're just so thankful for it. I think that's something we've definitely lost in recent years, in the last few decades. Like, we just lost that connection to where our food comes from, and such a bloody shame. I think COVID definitely sort of emphasised how much we rely on their food. Like when those shelves started going empty at the start of COVID, people were freaking out, and we just realised how fragile this little society we've created for ourselves is. So I've been fishing the last 2 years, and yeah, loving it. And maybe one day I might even get into hunting perhaps. Obviously love my bush tucker and stuff as well, but I just think trying to live a sustainable life where you source your own food and sort of build that connection to the landscape, I think that's really important, and something that too many people are just losing these days. So definitely how I want to live my life, at least. Man, there's so much water in this lake. The banks are just flooded. Man, this is crazy. So much more water in here than I was expecting. The lake must have closed up to the ocean. We've had a lot of rain recently, so it's just backed up, because this is usually dry land. It's about a foot deep here. I was kind of hoping to camp around this area somewhere, so it's kind of throwing a bit of a spanner in the works. I might have to reassess that. It's really cool though. Kind of this little sunken forest. And this is pretty crazy. So it's like almost knee deep. Whereas usually this is dry land, so pretty cool to see. Might be a little bit tricky trying to find a spot to camp, so I'll have to go for a bit of a paddle around and see if we can find a nice little dry patch of land. Well, we've got some relatively dry land here, but it's still pretty moist. Yeah, it's not that much higher than the water, so there's obviously a lot of water seeping underneath here. I'll have a little bit of a look around and see if we can find any dry spots. Very swampy. It's like mosquito heaven around here. Alright, so just trying to look around for a decent campsite. There's nothing really jumping out at me. It's a few clear areas, but pretty damp under the feet, so not really sure if this is going to be the best option. But speaking of damp, we've actually got some pools of water around here, just over there. It's quite a swampy area around here. So the main lake edge is about sort of 30 or 50 meters that way. So I'm not quite sure whether this is going to be drinkable or not. We've had a lot of rain over the last couple of weeks, so this could just be, just fresh water, just pulling up on top of the water table. Just not sure whether it's going to be salty or not. You know what, I might even have a quick little taste. Just got a leaf here, it's going to act as my little cup. Actually doesn't taste too bad. Tastes pretty fresh, can't really taste any salt. Just tastes a little bit earthy, but I think I can deal with that as long as it's not salty. So what I might do then is I might find a spot to set up camp, and then we'll come back and we'll try and filter this and boil it up. I think this might do. Alright, well I think this is going to be a campsite for tonight. It's probably about the driest ground that I've come across. It's a little bit elevated compared to the other spots. There's a few big open clear areas. I think I'll probably, maybe set up just about here, I reckon. I think the only sketchy thing about this site is there's ants' nests or ant holes all over the place. That seems to be the case all over this area, so I think it's something I'm just going to have to deal with. I don't think they're too dangerous. I was looking at them over here. I don't know if you guys can see it. They were coming out just before, but they only seem to be really small, so they're not like bull ants or anything, which is the main thing I'm concerned about. Now, I don't know if I'll eat this guy just yet. Might save him for dinner, and I might just go forage for some other kind of seafood for lunch, but I'll gut him now, and that way he can try and stay nice and fresh until I'm ready to eat him. Alright, well I think she's all done. Yeah, it's a nice sturdy design and stacks of room inside. So much room for activities. I'll probably chuck out my sleep gear a little bit later on. And then so just for this back corner I've just pegged out here and then folded the flap underneath. And I've got a little ground sheet with me, so I'll chuck that out underneath there a bit later on as well. So yeah, pretty happy with it. Alright, well now that we've got camp set up, I think we might do next is go try and find some water. Well, I just moved the canoe, and this little guy was underneath it. A very cute little fella. And I dare say this area is probably going to have a lot of frogs around. Oh, I've just come across a little bit of bush tucker. It's tucked all the way in there. I'll go to the camera and give you guys a bit of a closer look, but it's a blue flax lily, and the fruit are edible, and you can also use the leaves to make string or weave baskets. So yeah, first bit of bush tucker for today. I'm very keen to get into it. Yeah, so it's a little bit hard to see, but this is a blue flax lily plant. It's got these long strappy leaves, and on the underside they're quite pale, and they're yeah, really rough as well. They've got these serrations along the edge of the leaf, and in summer it produces these little purple and blue fruit. And I've also got a few little black seeds on the inside. Oh, it's a bit hard to do one-handed. Yeah, so I don't know if you can see that or not, but it's got these little black seeds in there. So let's have a taste. Alright, well this is the first bit of food I've had since about 6:30 this morning. Pretty tasty, eh? Yeah, it's got a few little black seeds. They're quite juicy. Yeah, really nice little bit of bush tucker. Alright, well I think this is going to be my best option in terms of drinking water. Now it doesn't look the most appetizing, looks very swampy and stagnant, but it's pretty much the best option I've got. Now like I said earlier, my main concern is making sure that this doesn't have any salt in it. But I figured the fact that you've got all these freshwater plants growing around here, surely that means it's yeah, predominantly freshwater. So at least that's my thinking. We'll soon find out. But how about we get the Millbank bag out of my pack so we can filter it up, and then we'll go boil it and see how it tastes. Pretty skeptical about this water, eh? But we'll give it a shot. So I've just got a Millbank bag here, which I'm just going to use to filter the water, and then we'll boil it to sterilize it. Just want to soak the bag first. What I might do, I might use my cup to try and fill up the bag. I'm just going to wait a few moments until the water level gets down to this dotted line. So that way it gives time for all the water on the outside of the bag to run off. And then I'll yeah, fill up the bottle. Alright, well while the Millbank's doing its thing, I think it's about time we have a snack. Now all around this area there's a fair few bush tucker plants, but we'll start off with the good old spiny-headed mat rush. Let me just put this camera down for a sec. Yeah, so like I said, this has got a spiny-headed mat rush, or a mandrel longfolia, and these leaf bases, they're edible. So if we pull out one of the leaves from the center of the plant, they're usually the easier ones to get out. Yeah, you got that white portion just there, which is edible. It just tastes like green peas or something like that. It's quite nice, and yeah, it's such a plentiful plant as well. It's all around here. You find it like yeah, always around sort of water courses or up in open forest. And yeah, really nice little bush tucker when you're just walking around. Also, these seed heads are actually out, which is really good. So it's got these little green seeds, and they're actually edible as well. They've got a very nutty taste to them. And when these dry up, apparently you can make damper and flour out of them, or you can make flour to make a damper out of them. I've never done it before. I have heard of a few people doing it, but apparently the seeds are pretty hard to process, but apparently it can be done. Pretty tasty. I haven't eaten much, well, apart from 2 flax lily berries. That's all I've had since about 6:30 this morning, so this is a welcome little retreat. Very nice. Alright, so next up we need to try and find some tinder. Now it's pretty difficult around here. Usually in this kind of environment I would go for the spiny-headed mat rush and look for the dead leaves of that, but because a fire went through here a couple of years ago, that's burned away all those dead leaves, so everything around here is new growth. But I have come across this cabbage tree palm. That's probably going to be my best option. So we come have a look at it. So this did get burnt in the fires. So usually at the base of where the old leaves have, where the old leaves have come out of, there's usually like a fibrous material, but that's been all burned away. There is some new stuff, but it's right at the top there and I can't reach it. So I think the next option is going to be to use these dead leaves. I should be able to sort of rough that up to a nice sort of texture where I can then strike it with a ferro rod. Well, we've got some pretty drizzly weather moving in. But what I think I might do now is I was going to go back to camp and get the fire going and boil up that water, but rather than doing that, I might actually go over towards the coastline and have a little bit of a look around the coastline, see if I can find more bush tucker, maybe try and find some seafood, like maybe some limpets or maybe a sea urchin or something like that. I had every intention to go for a bit of a spear this afternoon, but the weather's pretty horrible. Got a pretty strong southerly wind blowing and yeah, just kind of running out of time for that. So maybe I'll go for a bit of a spear in the morning perhaps, but I think now I'll go for a bit of a forage around the coastline, and then we'll head back to camp after that and get the fire going. That way we can boil up the water and then cook up dinner as well. So I think that's the plan. So there's a bit of a dip in the landscape just here and a lot of vegetation over there. So my guess is there's probably going to be some water dripping through the rock face. So let's go have a look. Yep, bingo. Just as I thought. So not heaps, but yeah, not heaps, but a few little droplets. Man, pretty bloody fresh. A lot better than that stanky water over there. Unfortunately I didn't bring a cup or a bottle with me up here. It's all the way back at the canoe. Might have to maybe come back up here in the morning. Pretty damn good. Wonder if I was to dig down as well a little bit, maybe I'll be able to sort of find like a pool of water underneath the sand. Alright, well I'm going to run back and grab my canoe and then paddle over to this side of the lake, and that way I can grab my my cup and maybe a water bottle and fill up from those drips just back there. That way, so when I'm out sort of collecting some seafood along the coast, I can be collecting water at the same time. Alright, we just went back and got the canoe and just got a little nesting cup as well. So we'll take it over here to that little rock face and see if we can collect some fresh water while I'm out sort of collecting some food. Yeah, so if we have a look under here again, you can see there's a fair few drips, especially this little pool over here. You've actually got a few little puddles, and that looks like that's maybe a little foxhole or something like that. Not sure what would be living down there, but he's got a nice little source of fresh water, that guy. Anyway, let's see if we can get the cup. Wonder if we can scoop some of this water up. Nah, I can't seem to get any to flow in, so what I'll do is I'll just leave it here and then just let the drips do the job. I kind of wish I had a big plastic bag so I could sort of lay it out underneath all these little drips and just collect all that water. But unfortunately I didn't bring one with me, so this will have to do. Doing a pretty good job. It's only been there for about 30 seconds and it's already got a little pull down at the bottom, so pretty hopeful about this. So this has been sitting there for maybe about 3 minutes and it's already got maybe like 100 mils or so. Looks super clean. Oh man, that tastes bloody good, eh? It's my first drink of water all day. Oh, that is so good. I'm not even too worried about boiling this water because I feel like it's coming out of a pretty pristine water source, so I'm not going to be worried about filtering and boiling it. Oh man, so good. Alright, we'll leave this here again and we'll go out for a bit of a forage. Well, here we go. One of my favourite bush tucker plants. This is called pigface. It's like a creeper that grows along sort of rocky headlands and along beaches. Although I think it's a little bit too early in the season for the fruit on this. So if you come back probably about this time next month, this whole thing will be in fruit. I'll grab the camera and give you guys a bit of a closer look at it. Yeah, so as you can see, it's just finished up flowering. And then this is the fruit. This thing's just here. So if you come back in about a month's time, these will be sort of like a darker red purpley colour, and they'll be good to eat and they're super tasty. They taste like a salty kiwi fruit, that's how I like to describe it. And they're hands down one of my favourite bush tucker plants. I don't think there's any they're going to be ripe, unfortunately. Oh, actually that one might do, feels pretty soft. The other ones are a little bit harder. But yeah, I think that, which one? That one. I think that one's good to go. There we go. Yep, I think we've got a ripe one here. So we just peel off the outer layer. And yeah, that little pulp on the inside is what's edible. Almost looks like a kiwi fruit as well, and it honestly tastes like one. Oh, so bloody tasty. That dead set tastes like a kiwi fruit. It's a slightly salty kiwi fruit. Oh man, so good. I wish there was more. Unfortunately, they're not ripe enough. Anyway, I'll have a little bit more of a look around and see if we can scrounge up a few more. Managed to find 2 more. They're still not completely ripe, but I think they'll do. No, not quite ripe. The flavour's just not there, but still edible. Alright, well we've got a few limpets, but unfortunately no sea urchins. Maybe we'll try again tomorrow morning. But I think it's about time we head on back and get this fire going and get this fish cooked up. Oh mate, how good is this? You are kidding. That is almost, it's about 650 mils, and that was only for like maybe 45 minutes. Oh man, now that is good. So much better than that stanky water down there. Alright, let's head back to camp. Alright, so I've just quickly pulled the canoe over because I remember seeing some bush tucker around here earlier. And all we've got here is warrigal greens, or bush spinach as I like to call it. That's it right there. So this whole area is just covered in this ground cover. And yeah, it's edible, so you can eat it raw, but it is best to blanch it, because just like other spinaches, it's high in oxalate, so it's better to blanch it first. So what we'll do is we'll grab some of this and we'll take it back to camp. When you're picking it, try and sort of take it from a large area, that way you're sort of not focusing just on one particular patch. Alright, so just going to try and crush up these cabbage palm leaves until we get like a nice sort of cotton wool texture. There we go. Alright, well the water's been boiling for a few minutes now, so it's about time to take it off. Alright, so we've just got the water that we collected from the rock face as well as the bush spinach. This way we can sterilise the water by boiling it and then blanch the spinach at the same time. Alright, what time to get the fish on? So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to sharpen the end of this stick, and then I'll put the fish at the end of the stick and then just hold it over the fire like that. I've never cooked a fish like this before, but I've seen a few people do it. Shout out to Matt here from Silly Swagman. He did his last video and I thought it looked pretty cool. Alright, well, very interesting way to cook the fish, but yeah, keen to see how it goes. So I'll probably leave it there for about half an hour. Well, I think he's about done. Alright, well, the skin's already peeled back a bit. Oh, not bad. Cooked to perfection. Oh, yum. Yum, yum, yum. That is delicious. Oh, man, that is so good. So bloody good. Especially when you haven't eaten all day. This is going down an absolute treat. I'm gonna go with my fish. I've got the salad. So here's the bush spinach. Man, pretty tasty, eh? Could easily put this in like a pasta or something like that. It's gonna be really nice. Oh, man, can't beat this, eh? Just living off the land, eating what you can catch or forage in a pretty beautiful place. Pretty stoked. It's been a really fun little trip. Like I was saying, I've been wanting to do something like this for a really long time, and I knew that my fishing skills weren't quite up to scratch in the previous years, but I've been getting a bit better, so I thought I'd give it a crack, and yeah, pretty stoked myself. Now let me know if you guys want me to do a few more of these kind of little survival missions, or sort of like where you live off the land for a couple of days. It'd be nice to extend it a bit longer. Like I feel like I'm only just starting to get in the groove of it. I kind of wish I had another day or two out here. But yeah, keen to maybe do a few more in the future. So if you guys want to see more, yeah, then leave a comment below and let me know. I actually haven't tried any of the water yet. Smells okay. Let's see how it tastes. Still a bit warm, and always like warm water always kind of throws you off a bit. I don't think it tastes salty. I think it just tastes a little bit earthy perhaps. I think it's okay. I think. But I've still got this water as well, which is the water that I collected, so I know that will definitely be good. So between this, I think I should be fine for tonight, and then tomorrow morning maybe I can go collect some more out of that rock face. But yeah, I think this is alright. It's definitely not the best water I've ever had. But anyway, it's about 8 o'clock now. I think the sun's just about set, so how about we call it quits for tonight? I'm going to absolutely devour this thing, and yeah, I'll get back to you guys in the morning. Oh, almost forgot to eat the limpets. Haven't had these in such a long time, so let's see how they go. You just want to cut away the little gut sack, the little dark thing on top of it. Yeah, that's all you eat. Not the most appetizing thing, but let's see how it goes. Alright, well, let's give this a go. It's chewy, but yeah, not too bad. Alright, well, we got some rain, so what I've done is I've just dug a little hole at the back of the tarp, and that way it can collect some water. And it's doing a pretty good job. I'd say that's probably almost a litre just there, maybe about 600 or 700 mils. Yeah, very drizzly day today. Yeah, so that amount of water is just from collecting from the run off the tarp at the tie-up point. Pretty decent amount. Oh man, how good's that? There's about 500 mils just there. There's still plenty left in. There you go. A litre of water just from the runoff of the tarp. That is so good. Well, good morning guys. Another wet and drizzly morning this morning. I decided to hold off now, which is nice, but it's been pretty consistent all morning, But I managed to take advantage of the rain and collect some fresh water on the back of the tarp. So what I've done is dug some divots into the sand and then just laid the tarp over it, and so all the runoff from the rain is just pulling up in the tarp. And I got about 1 litre earlier on, and then I've probably got another about 1.5 litres here. So yeah, fresh water is definitely not an issue this morning, which is nice. But last night's sleep, man, it's a bit of a rough one last night. It got so bloody windy up until about 3 o'clock or so. It started to let up then, but man, some pretty strong gusts throughout the night, and I was just waking up like every half an hour, just checking, like looking out the window, looking out of my tarp, shining the torch into the tree and stuff, just seeing how the branches are going, because I'm in between these two gum trees, and I've kind of put the tarp in a spot where there aren't really any branches above me, but if a branch was to fall off, just the idea of it sort of falling off and then bouncing and then hitting me or something like that, it's still a bit sketchy. And yeah, just camping amongst gum trees always, it's always got that bit uneasy feel, because you definitely get a few widow makers from them. Oh god, I think that rain's back again, bloody hell. But anyway, the plan this morning was to go for a bit of a dive and a spearfish, but to be honest, just given the weather and stuff, I'm not that keen to go do it. I'm not that hungry yet, and yeah, like it's what, about 9 or 9:30 now, so if I was to go do that, it's going to take up a fair few hours, and I kind of want to get out of here by about sort of 11ish. And plus if I was to catch a fish, everything's soaking wet, so to try and get a fire started would be a bit of a mission, and yeah, I'm not really too fussed about it. So a bit of a shame. I brought all my gear with me, but I planned to go yesterday, but time just got away from me yesterday, kind of ran out of time, and then yeah, this morning I'm not too fussed, so might save that for next trip. But what I think I'll do now is probably pack camp down, might go for a bit of a paddle around, maybe see if we can find some more bush tucker, and then yeah, I think we'll call it after that. So yeah, let's get the tarp taken down. dents in there now. Let's give it a taste. Pretty bloody good. Really nice. This is a much easier way to collect fresh water than what I was trying to do yesterday. Oh man, the conditions right now are perfect. It's completely glassed off. Because it's overcast, it's making the water look real kind of oily, like an oil painting. It's really cool. So I might go over to this beach here and pull up and we'll go look around the coastline a bit. Alright legends, well I think it's about time we wrap this little survival challenge up. It's about lunchtime, I'm getting pretty damn hungry. I think we're going to devour about 3 pies on the way home. I should say a big thanks to all you guys watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this one. It's a little bit different to what I usually do, but like I said, we wanted to do one of these kind of live off the land challenges for quite a while, and it's a good way to sort of test your skills and see what you're capable of, and I've had a lot of fun this weekend. So if you guys are keen to see some more videos like this in the future, then feel free to leave a comment below. I'm pretty keen to try and do a few more, maybe strip the gear right back and just take out the bare essentials next time. But also, this is probably the last video I make for 2021, so it's been a pretty crazy year, like in terms of what's going on in the world, but also in terms of adventures. Like I've been to some pretty amazing places this year and I've had so much fun. It's been an absolute pleasure to take you guys along and document it all, and yeah, I really hope you guys have been enjoying the videos. The channel's been growing quite nicely. We're getting close to 100,000. I think I'm at about 83 or so right now, so yeah, it's good to see you guys are enjoying the videos. But if you haven't subscribed yet, please do and help me crack the 100k. And I also want to give a massive shout out to all my Patreon supporters. It's honestly with your support that helps me to get out here and make more videos for you guys. So if you guys want to support the channel, then feel free to check out my Patreon link, which is in the description below. So yeah, anyway, I want to say Merry Christmas and Happy New Year to all you guys. Hopefully you guys have a safe and happy holidays and get out there and enjoy the beautiful outdoors. And I'll see you guys next year for another round of epic adventures. So yeah, until next time, hooroo.